to WRPB and WRPB Studios. You know, there's so many times that I go out and I say, "What's to do?" Or people post on Facebook, "What's to do?" Or "What's to do with the kids?" Well, with me is Melissa, and Melissa is from Saint Lucie
Lanes,
Lanes.
yes.
So it's bowling,
Bowling, bowling.
and it's bowling time.
Yes,
You've been bowling quite some time.
yes.
Okay, so why'd you even get into it?
My family moved here in 78. I moved here in 81, and they started bowling, and I would sleep under the tables while they were bowling. Yeah.
So you're in the industry how long? About?
Well, 44 years, and I started bowling at 4, but I've been working on and off there since 2001.
Okay, so it's interesting because you started initially as bookkeeping work,
Yep, bookkeeping.
and now you worked your way to general manager.
Yes.
All right, so like it's been so many years since I went bowling because I'm older than dirt. Who's your clientele? I mean, who bowls today?
We have all ages. We have youth leagues, senior leagues. We have mixed leagues at night. I mean, at any age. We even have a 105-year-old bowling.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm not near there now. I'm like, and I remember the good old days being younger and bowling. And what's really cool about bowling for me, I looked at it like dancing. If you're a really bad bowler, people are looking at you. If you're a really great bowler, people are looking at you. And if you're an average bowler, nobody cares. Okay, nobody cares. You go there and you have a good time. Um, so somebody who's an average bowler. I mean, what's an average bowling score that you think is decent?
I would say about a 150 average,
Okay.
160 average,
What's your highest game that you bowl?
300.
Did you bowl 300?
Yes.
Oh my God! Now I'm embarrassed. Okay, my highest game was I think somewhere like 220,
That's
220.
not bad.
No, but I used to
If you
bowl.
don't do it all the
I
time.
used to bowl a lot
Okay.
because that's what we did as kids. What did we do? Went to the movies,
Yep.
bowled,
Skating rink.
and skating rink.
Hmm.
Those were the things we did, and the arcade. But those are the things we did. And though movies was a big thing to do if you're going to date someone, it really is a terrible way to date.
Yeah.
Bowling's a much better
Exactly.
way to take on
My
a
first
date.
date with my husband was a movie theater.
Really? And it is. I get that because people. It's simple and it's easy,
Yes.
but you can't talk to one another.
No.
Okay, so unless it was a drive-in, that's a different story. But we won't go there. But if you're going bowling, you're interacting with one another. You're having a good time,
Yes.
and hopefully, you bowl good enough that the girl you're with is not making fun of you. Okay, so I would never go bowling with you because it would be embarrassing for me.
Still
Does
be
your,
fun.
does your husband bowl?
That's where we met, was the bowling center in
Really?
St. Lucie Lanes.
So
Yes.
is he a good bowler?
Yes.
Better than you?
No.
Okay, you
He
heard
wa-
that.
But he was.
Was
he
he?
was at one time, yes. He got injured.
Oh, yeah, that's the sticky
Yeah.
part. So the bowling center. What is there? I mean, you have the bowling.
We have an arcade. We have a full kitchen, full bar. The bar itself, it's its own entity too, called Pockets Bar and Lounge.
Okay, is it in a separate room and people?
Yes.
Okay, so how many people does that room hold?
Oh God, it could hold up to 100, 150, maybe
So-
more.
Again, if you're got a group and you're in a network, you might as well go there and
Yes.
network. They have a full kitchen,
Yes.
a full bar, full bar.
Yes, full bar.
Okay, so I don't. It's like when I was younger, I heard this bowling alley, that bowling alley. That's kind of gone away. There's only like a few left.
Yeah, there's only a few.
Okay, are you busy? Is it busy? Has it been busy?
We have just gone through a remodel. We'll be open a year after the remodel, January 20th. So we are pretty busy now that we've updated everything, new scoring systems.
What happened to the good old days when you had to write it? You had to write them, and then everybody look over your shoulder checking that you didn't cheat. Okay, you can't do
You
that
can't
now.
give people bowling math skills now. Yeah,
No. Okay, you can't get people to do cursive, to drive a stick, and you can't get them to figure out how to bowl and
No.
the scores. And it was, I remember as a kid, it was tricky to learn how to score because it changed, especially when you get to that last frame,
Yeah.
it could really get tricky. So obviously not for you because one, you did bookkeeping,
Yeah.
and two, you started at 4. Okay, that's a long time. I mean, you have a vast group of people that go bowling.
Yes.
What's the youngest?
The youngest, well, I would say 4 we have for our leagues. My kid started at 4.
Okay, so let's talk about the leagues. I guess the leagues are age bracketed.
No, no, not really.
I mean, or are they beginning, advanced?
There, we do have a learn to bowl, and then we just have our normal Saturday morning for all ages up to 18.
Okay, and for the little ones, do you put the things in the gutter so
No bumpers.
no
That's
bumpers?
just for learn to bowl. Yes.
I remember seeing that. I said, "What a great idea for people like me." But again, when you figure out what you would go out and do, dollar for dollar, bowling could be a whole night event.
Hmm.
It's not like you have to. All right, it's not like an hour or now 2 hours of a movie, and then you spend X dollars, and now what do I do? You can bowl for. I mean, depending on how many people, of course.
Yes.
Okay, and depending on how you want to bowl, I remember we used to bowl, and you'd bowl a couple frames, and you go and get a hot dog or hamburger, okay, and something to drink, and you'd talk for a minute, and then you'd go back to bowling. I know people probably don't follow it. There's some bowling etiquette,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Okay, so is it the one on the left of the lane or the one on the right that has to wait for the other to go?
Well, it's you want to just either way. It's like a one lane courtesy
Okay,
on both sides. So you wait for both of them to go and then you go. That's in league. Open play,
I
they
got
don't follow any of that.
There's and again, there's so many little pieces that most people don't even think of. There's a foul line there.
Yes.
Are they active?
Yes. It will buzz, give you an F if you go over it.
Really?
It's for safety reasons, really, because you don't want to slip the
Right.
oil that's on the other side of it.
You know, I think one of the hardest things about bowling was finding the right ball that fit your fingers
Yes.
and was the right weight. And I remember my mom when she used to go bowling. She would actually bowl almost normal until she got to the end, and the ball and her hand she'd use her knee to kind of lob the ball onto the lane. And I've seen that many times with a lot of women using that extra push with their knee,
Yeah.
with their knee. You know, and you got to really look at the form of someone who bowls
Yes.
because a professional bowler, and correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't say, "Hey, there's the pins. This is where I'm going to bowl." They bowl towards the gutter and make it spin and curve in.
Well, a lot of people don't know that there are marks on the lanes.
Right.
And that's what you're really aiming at.
But
There's
you got
dots and arrows.
right, but you got to be good enough to have that ball spin into the pocket of the 1 and 2 or the 1 and 3,
The 1 and 3.
the 1 and 3.
Unless you're lefty, 1 and the 2.
Pick me, lefty. Okay, which leads me into: is it more difficult for a lefty to bowl?
Well, as a righty, we say no. We say it's easier because there's not many people bowling on your side, but a lot of lefties will disagree.
Well, look, I'm a lefty, and I know the negatives of being a lefty. And when you get older, I found one positive. Like this year, I had a stroke,
Oh,
and usually the stroke is on your left side, your carotid artery, but it affects your right arm and your right side of your body most of the time. Most strokes are that way. So when I had my stroke, it affected my right arm, but I was lefty, so I was still able to do
That's
both of the
good.
things. The only problem is if you don't use it, you lose it. So getting my right arm back to work, I had to do occupational therapy and get used to it. But bowling was right; it was a little different, and there was almost a superstition to bowling. Okay, you knew if you stood here, if you stood at this spot, and you went down the lane, and then you threw the ball, and you threw it that way, it would probably turn back that way, because it really isn't in the way that you hold the ball will depend on how it spins.
Actually, it's fingertips.
Really?
People, yeah, you have your hand like it's a conventional ball when you go to the bowling center and you fit your hands in them. Otherwise, you have a fingertip. It's fitted to your hand, and you only put this much of your finger in there, and it's what spins the ball.
Really?
I mean, you can spin the ball, come over it, but you technically don't want to come over the bowling ball. You want to stay behind it.
Oh, we didn't know that.
Yeah.
We just bowled, and we made sure that after we bowled the first frame, that we said, "All right, everybody gets a practice frame," okay? Because the first one is usually terrible. I mean, is that a base rule in bowling that you get one practice frame?
Well, no, we get 10 minutes if you're in a league.
You get 10 minutes to
Hmm.
practice before you're bowling in
Yes.
the league. In a league, is it? You have a couple different leagues, right?
We have a lot of different leagues, yes.
Your high end league is a 300 score usually something that's you see more often than normal.
It goes in skirts. Like sometimes they will bowl a lot. Sometimes you'll have two a season. Like we've start our season in September. We've had probably three or four.
300 games.
Hmm.
See, that's why I'd be scared to be in a league to embarrass myself.
No, yep. They're all handicapped. There's not really any scratch leagues anymore, so it's all based on that math. But it's fun. I mean, we do have one, that's a little more competitive, but all our other ones are fun. Go out, have a
That's
night
what they should
out,
be.
meet
Okay,
some new people.
you're taught it's a game.
Yeah.
You either win or you don't win, but you should be happy that you're playing.
Yes.
You already mentioned that you just went through a renovation.
Yes.
Okay, what's the future for the lanes, as you see it?
Well, bowling has been coming back. So the future, I'm hoping stays going and everything because bowling, sometimes a lot of people don't think about bowling as
But
much
right,
as as like they used to. But I mean,
it's a great night
it's a
out.
great night out, great fun for the family.
Are you still bowling?
Oh yes,
Oh, sorry.
yes. I can't imagine myself not bowling.
Really?
Yes,
You kids bowl?
yes,
Do they like bowling?
yes.
How old are your kids?
My oldest is
Oh
27
my
and
God.
my youngest is 21. I have a 23-year-old middle child
Okay. Did they start bowling when they were babies?
when they're 4.
Oh my gosh.
Hmm.
Are they good bowlers?
Yes,
Better than you?
I have 2 that are better than me.
Have they hit 300 games?
Yes. One had hit 2 and one is tied with me for 5.
You've hit 300 games?
Yes, no 800, so yeah.
Okay, when you say 800, how does that figure?
That's you have 3 consecutive or 3 games averaging 266. So it's really hard. It's not easy to
Hit
have 3 great games.
in a row.
Yes, in a row.
I know you had 800 over a lifetime.
No.
No,
I mean, maybe with 4 game total
Yeah.
instead of 3 game.
Most of us, it's like 6 game total. But again, if you go, and this is just my belief, if you go bowling for the fun, you'll probably have your better games.
Yes,
If you, for me, unless you're a professional bowler, for me, if you take things too serious, it puts too much stress on you.
that's what I try to tell everybody.
Yeah.
One frame at a time.
Yeah, go have a good time. So all the scoring is automatic.
Yes. We even have fun games for the kids. That's not just your normal 10 frames. They'll go in and build a monster or throw cannonballs at a castle. They've made it, the technology is crazy now.
Well, thinking about it, bowling is actually a family sport.
Yes.
Okay, and it's something to do for families. It's one of the few things that families can do together. You surely can't take kids to movies anymore because most movies are rated R, and if they're not, they're still out of range for most
Yes.
kids.
And to let you know, bowling is the only sport that kids can now earn scholarship before they even turn 18.
Oh, can they?
They can, yep, there's USBC smart accounts. USBC is what's governed the sport of bowling. And they have funds where they can earn throughout leagues or different tournaments.
I'm not that smart, but let me see if I get this. United States
Bowling
Bowling.
Congress.
Okay. I knew that I couldn't figure out what the C was. It's usually an A at the end, like
Yeah,
association.
association.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it makes it easy. We're getting to the top of time. How do people find you? You have a phone number,
Yes.
which is,
772-241-9262.
and you're easily found on Facebook
Yes.
under.
Under Saint Lucie Lanes.
Okay, and where are you located?
We are located on US 1 right across from the Draft House.
Everybody, it's a. First of all, one is this perfect amount of parking. You never have to worry about that. Two is it's a great night out for groups, like you and your friends, because there you at least can communicate and talk with one another. And there you can laugh at your friends who don't bowl as good as you. But it's just a great night out, and I remember it. And if it wasn't for getting injured, I would have probably still bowled more. But I want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Everybody, check them out, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.